So, are we live? Are we
We
live?
live, baby. How you doing?
All the way live? Don't even
We
have to
all the
walk,
way
don't even
live.
have to drive, just slide, slide, slippity
Flippity
slide.
slide.
Just come on your 95 and just sail along. Sorry,
Everybody just
Julia.
said hello. Hey, how are you? I'm good. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, we
I'm
just,
good. I'm hot. I'm hot. I think I'm having a flash. I got to turn on my fan. Woo.
well, it is, that is such our life is fans. Um, I was somewhere yesterday and I pulled my fan out because I was like, I've been walking in DC to my appointments. And I said, oh, nope, this fan has to go as soon as I got there. It was like the sweat, because it was like we're in spring, right? So happy spring,
Yeah.
everybody, from Just
Happy
Getting Better. Happy
spring.
spring. And I was like, the layers were just coming, like peeling. And the lady next to me was like, oh, you're prepared. I said, this is not my first hot flash rodeo, a personal summer. So it was like, it was really sweet though. But yeah.
I'm
So
prepared. I've got my fan on remote, high, medium, low. Just start, Do I
what
look
are you
warm?
sipping?
Oh, okay. So because it's the second day of spring, but really the first full day of spring, and you
Yeah.
know how much I love spring, I made myself a lavender French 75. So you know the classic French 75. So I
Yeah.
put a little lavender twist in it with some lavender simple syrup, and then I have a lavender echinacea gin from the Secret Garden that I visited. They're right outside of Edinburgh. I went there in 2021, I think.
Okay.
And of course, one of our favorites, Laurent Perrier
The Rome
champagne
Perrier.
added in the mix. And oh, can I tell you? So I'm so
Yes.
excited because it is spring. So my little accoutrement here is lavender from my garden.
Oh, it's
It's
garden
my
time.
first little
Fresh lavender.
lavender. So
Oh,
I
I love
picked it
that.
and I put it in. So what about you? What you got?
I am drinking a
Oh,
jalapeno margarita, and I treated myself. I love tequila, and I was blessed to have some Casa Dragones, which is very luxurious. And I was like, I can sip that, or I can make a jalapeno margarita. And I
awesome.
had like it's beautiful. And normally I actually sip that tequila. I don't add anything into it, but I just did that. Cointreau, lime,
Mm,
jalapeno,
hmm
shake it up in a shaker, added it, filled, and it's giving me like, it's still cold here. It's like 40
hmm
something in
Yeah,
DC.
it's chilly here too.
Yeah, so it's chilly. So I was just like, this just give me enough. And I am finally using my beautiful Baccarat like water glass.
I love that glass.
It is, oh my God, it's heavy, right? And I was like, but
Nice.
we're coming on. We're keeping you guys like
Yeah,
telling like we're going back to podcasting soon. It's the new season. Season 3 is coming soon. So we just wanted to go
yeah.
in here and talk to the community.
And if you're giving a glass shout out, I'd like to give a glass shout out to my fabulous Zalto glasses that I love. Dennis and I discovered these in 2019
Okay.
in Austria and bought some and literally like carried them
Oh,
across
you have
Europe.
oh honey, you have to carry Zalto hand. And then the thing about Zalto also, if you look at it wrong, it will break. Like
Now, I've broken one, but yeah, they're good. You just have to hold
Zalto
them
makes, and
carefully, watch them.
have
Fabulous.
you tried the Joseph ones where they have like like they go in a little bit, look like a little like,
Mm-mm.
they are really beautiful glasses as well. They make, and
Ooh.
also I really love my Zalto decanter. That's the one decanter
Yes.
I'm like precious with. I'm like, let me slow how
Oh,
I clean it. I'm not
precious with all of
rushing.
it.
You have to be like I say, you look at Zalto
Yes.
and they
Yes.
break. But I
Yeah.
love them. But we're here. Spring is happening, and guess what? I'm looking so forward to spring, to be outside. I was outside yesterday. It was beautiful in DC before the rain happened. But with spring, we also got to deal with allergies. So, but it's worth it,
Mhm.
you
It
know.
is. It is. So what are you looking forward to this spring?
So, like, we have cherry blossoms coming up, right?
Ah, how
Right.
nice. Yes.
We have that. And I usually go at night. I am a night visitor to Cherry Blossom. I do like that time. But just, you can see people smiling. They're out. It was a long winter here. It felt like it wasn't so, ever going away. But it's those little touches of spring. It's like I'll see people like with their books in the park, the bike riders, the scooters, now, but it's also spring break this, right now. So it's everybody's crowded, the kids, the metros, things like that. But they're in a time that is very heavy, in a place that everything is happening. It's nice to see a lot of smiles because of the weather. So that is
Yeah.
giving me that joy. going back outside, like walking, hiking, biking, all that kind of like fun outdoorsy stuff. I know you're a big gardener, so I know that's like happening. But it was also to the farmers market. Like you see it all coming out, right? You're getting the list of like what's happening in March, vegetables and produce are coming. So it's just a little lift at a
Mhm.
time, where everything's happening. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it sounds great. I think that
What
it would be
about
nice
you?
to be out in the sun in DC these days.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like
don't
you.
forget your
I mean,
sunscreen, people. Wear sunscreen.
uh,
I always gotta say that. Wear
always,
sunscreen. Always.
always, and I think and a hat, a wide
And a
brimmed
hat.
hat. I'm looking forward to being outside, gardening, getting back in my garden, flower
Hmm.
garden. I don't do vegetables, some
Okay.
herbs, as you can see from my lavender. But yeah, cultivating my last year. I don't think I told you this. I got a certification from the National Wildlife Federation that I
Oh,
have a yes that I have a habitat. My yard is a certified habitat for oh god, I'm having a moment. Tell me the word I'm trying to think of. Pollinators.
pollinators. Yeah. But your
Yes.
garden's lovely. Like you have the lavender, and then like I was fortunate to get some of your blood orange marmalade that you
Yay!
made. Like,
Made some
and that was like
marmalade.
when I tell you when I was digging digging that marmalade out, I was like, because I like, and when I went to France, I had brought back butter. So that was
Oh
the
yeah.
only way I ate the marmalade. I had like my little seed sourdough bread, and then I had my
Mhm.
French butter, and I had your marmalade. And on one little side, I will put a little Maldon. So it'd be like
Nice.
half regular, and then
Ah,
and I'm
yeah.
telling you, when it was gone, I was like,
Oh, ours is gone too. I've got to make some more. Well, Dennis and I, my husband and I, we did that together. So it was the first time we'd ever made marmalade, and it was the first time we'd ever canned. And I thought going into it, this is going to be divorced. We're going to be divorced by the time this is over. But it was great. Actually, I
yeah,
loved having him there. We had a great time doing it together. So can I tell you a quick story about
oh yeah.
about my blood oranges? So I have, we have to put all of our citrus in giant pots and put them
Hmm.
on dollies and wheel them like these giant cement pots into the garage when it gets really cold outside. We can't plant them in the ground. But so we took about half the blood oranges off to make the first batch of marmalade to see how it was going to turn out. And then it turned out well. So we went back 2 days later to get the second thing of oranges, all gone.
What?
All my lemons gone, everything gone. Some raccoon or something came into our backyard and took everything, our entire bounty, gone, gone. So that was it. That was all the oranges I got.
Oh wow. Well, maybe
You
next
know,
year, but
I mean, I live in the suburbs. Like, come on.
but raccoons. You see that meme where that raccoon is like holding up with the trash can, like, hey,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they don't care. They do not care. So
He's not playing. He came
he's
in and took everything. Yes.
But there, it was so good. But what I love about your marmalade too, because I like that it's very French style, where it's the touch of sweetness. It's not really sweet,
Yes.
so you get that hint of sweetness based on the fruit, but not based on so much added extra sugar. And that's what I loved about it. And I was like, I'm a request that the jars are bigger next year.
Yeah.
Like,
Me
yes,
too. Me too.
yes.
Ah, too funny.
So
All right. So, I know that we both have also been reading a lot this
yes,
spring and have
yes.
more, coming up. So, what are you reading right now? What was your March book pick?
My March book pick was Good Dirt by Charmaine Walker, who she wrote Black Cake, the series on Hulu. So that you can get a start. But basically, is what I love about it is I love stories where people run away and find redemption. But
Mm.
also the protagonist ran away to France. So it's like secrets follow you no matter where you go. The truth
Wow.
does not
Yeah.
matter that you go. And so for me, I love those literary fiction books, the kind that you sit down and you just be in your chair and you have a few hours to devour it. Like it's one of those, to
Yeah.
me, devour books. And I know, like, I had talked to one of my friends and she was like, oh, I listened to it and I didn't have the same reaction. And I said, go read it and
Mm.
possibly, try it that way. And I think it's one of those books, like some books to me can be audio, and I don't listen to a lot of audio fiction. I listen to audio nonfiction. I think this book needs to be, I think you need to flip a page. I think you need to flip a page and
Yeah.
get into the meat of it, because you're so soaked into the story and you're not doing anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I like that with literary fiction. I think that
Okay.
those books are meant to be like held and read. And it sounds like, I mean, I would love to go lose myself in France, but you know what they say, wherever we go, there we are. So,
Exactly. So what are you reading? You had a
well,
big you have a big book for March. You have a big book.
I do have a big book and I'm still in it, Dream Count, by Chimamanda Adichie.
Yes. Yes.
Adichie. I'm working on it. I'm terrible with names. Um, but it is a big book. It is following these four women. They're they're amazing women. They have very complex stories and lives, lots of layers, lots happening. I love the fact, like, there's a line in it that's so funny. One of the characters talks about, they talk there's a lot of look at past boyfriends and things like that,
Mhm.
and one of the characters refers to the past boyfriends as time thieves, which I thought was really interesting
Yeah.
because I can see that, but I also think like every relationship we have teaches us who we are, and then we grow into the next
Mhm.
relationship. So a little bit of the different, but
Yeah.
I love the idea of someone being a time thief, like you
Well,
just
you
stole
know,
my
there was
time from me.
somebody who I think this woman is pop culture that a few years ago she like sent an invoice to the guy she dated for wasting her time. Or no, I think it was Mariah Carey dated somebody and she sent him like he paid her because he wasted her time or
Oh,
something.
that
I don't
sounds
know.
like a Mariah Carey. I love
Yeah,
that.
but I was so a time thief, right?
A
But
time
it's
thief.
interesting
Yeah.
because that book is on my list, even though there's some controversy with some comments from Chiamanda about trans people and everything like that.
Yes.
And it's one of those things I do believe, there's grace for those who seek it. I always believe that. And so
Me
I
too.
still plan to read it. And there's been a lot of big books, 500, 550, 600 pages, and I tell people like go research and everything and make your own choice. But I read a comment from a writer and she said when she has big books, she reads a few like 20 to 5 pages to 30 pages every other day.
Oh
That's how
wow.
she finishes a big book. She doesn't like just sit down and
Uh
she
huh.
can read an 800, 900 page epic saga kind of book. And she takes that approach while she's reading other books. So sometimes she
Okay.
might do that like every 2 or 3 days, but it is not about
Yes.
sitting down at just that one sitting and everything else.
Well, yeah, it is a very layered book. It's
Hmm.
beautiful. I mean, but it's also one of those that I think has to be read slow because her prose, like every word has intention. I mean, it's almost like Kendrick Lamar, like I mean, like
Yeah.
she's really saying something and not just in dialogue and description, but the way that she chooses words. And so it's very powerful. I mean, of course, she's a beautiful writer,
Yeah.
truly beautiful,
I,
and really it's a nice message. And I know about the controversy. It was many years ago and I don't agree. I had to go look up what she said because I didn't know what she said.
yeah.
I did look it up, but I mean, I'm not an apologist for her. I'm reading the book because
It's an
I
author
think it
you like.
has, well, it is, and it also has a useful story to tell. I think that
Hmm.
the dynamics of looking at America through the eyes of immigrants, and so I mean, there's and looking at
Yeah.
women and the importance of their friendship, and then the men on the periphery and stuff. There's a lot. There's a
Are
lot
you,
to be said.
I have to say, are you a person into book covers? Like, are you
Yeah,
okay? You should look
yeah,
at her. Like, there are some books I like that have a UK different cover, because
uh
of
huh,
US and
yeah,
everything. And her UK
yeah.
cover is also really nice. Like,
Oh, I'll have to. I will
yeah,
do
like
that. Thank
sometimes like
you.
the
Yeah,
covers can kind of change just slightly.
more.
Like if you really
Uh huh.
into them, I love looking at different books. Like that's those book nerds, one of those
Yeah,
things.
it's like a
Yeah,
wine label, it's like you're
exactly.
drawn to it. It may not be what's inside may not be good,
Yes.
but you're still visually stimulated by it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And we have to talk about our main man, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis!
Lewis
See
Hamilton
what
is down
happened?
in Fort
Just
Lauderdale
like today,
today.
he won
Okay,
the
so
pole for the sprint race in
he
China.
not only that, the fastest ever lap,
It's
the fastest,
incredible. Yeah.
incredible. I will say these foreign races are really messing up my sleep because last
So,
night I was
yeah.
like, go to bed, and I knew the race was happening. I finally just got out the bed. I said, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to have to watch it. I probably went to sleep like only got like 2 or 3 hours because I was like so pumped from like that happening and watching
It's
him
so
and
incredible.
And
Yeah.
he's just, to see him, he's just smiling. You can just tell he's happy.
Well,
And
I want him to be happy. I miss Bono talking to him. I miss that, so like
you mean
on
Toto?
the race.
You mean
No,
Toto?
Bono
Oh,
was his
Bono. Yes.
engineer
Okay.
that would be taught. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so he would always be, he's the one that would say hammer time and get in there, Lewis. And so, so Dennis and I are saying that we were watching the race in Australia and we're like, get in there, Lewis, get in there.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm going to say it, Julia, once again, the Ferrari game plan, fails the day. They have got to get this together. We have watched this happen for the past 2 seasons with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, and I will not stand for this happening to Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, I'm going. I don't know anybody that works at Ferrari. Ferrari, if you want us to come, we will come to Milan. We will come. We will bring this show on the road.
Absolutely, and I'm not telling anyone how to do their job. But come on, people, let's get it together. Lewis was in the lead and, get your tires figured out. Get it all figured out.
I think it's that too. I also think I was reading a comment, if, watching F1 is like one of the few sports that most people have never played. People have played basketball, we get into hockey and all that kind of stuff. But I think what it is that Lewis, it's a dance, right? I think there is still some footing that needs to happen. I think we just 2 races in, but I am going to say by the 4th race, they got a break after this one and the next 2 coming up. I am going to say that Ferrari is going to get it together and they are going to be pure fire. I am
from your lips to God's ears. Come on.
My lips to God's ears is the Ferrari team. And all of that. I think that is going to happen. So yeah.
I don't look good in red, and I'll wear red for Lewis if he's going to win. I will do it.
We'll wear red, yes. So
you look great in red. I don't look good in red.
Well, you wear blue because you look amazing in blue. And
I wear black. I wear black with red, and you can wear
black
red with black.
accents.
There you go.
Okay, so
there you go.
Dallas Stars, tell us what's happening with them.
Boom, boom, Dallas, boom, boom, Stars. Yes. So the Stars are on fire. They have the Mikko Rantanen trade, which was the trade that rocked the NHL.
Yeah.
So now we're moving into playoffs. Playoffs start in a month. The Stars are in 2nd place in the Central Division behind Winnipeg. That's okay. They can stay there. They don't need to finish first. Okay. They may want to, but they're in a great place, except the Colorado Avalanche are right on their tail, and those 2 teams are going to end up playing each other in the first round. And that should be like Western Conference Finals. That should be Stanley Cup Finals, although it's not possible. Those 2 teams, the reason that the East, I'm going to put it out there, people, the reason that the East always wins the Stanley, not always, for the past few years, wins the Stanley Cup is because the West is the competition is so tough that the team that gets out, last year it was I don't even remember. It was Connor McDavid's team. They Edmonton. Anyway, I'm all over the place now. Yes, Edmonton. They're exhausted by the time they get to they're exhausted.
They're beat up.
Yeah, they're so beat up. And so I just hope, God, please let this be the year. Let this be the year.
Okay. Well, here's the funny thing. How about I have it on my schedule? Because I decided that I'm going to watch a Stars game because your enthusiasm is slowly rubbing off on me. So I was going to surprise you.
Awesome. There you go. There I
go. Right. So
playoff hockey, there's no other sport like playoff hockey.
And that's why I'm going to get into it because
it's insane. It's insane.
So I'm going from playoff hockey to NBA. So and then you have March Madness thrown in there.
March Madness,
and all the good things. But it's one of those things. I'm so excited. We're ramping up for season 3. We're doing interviews. We're researching. We're doing all the things. And
great lineup of women. I think our audience is going to love all these amazing women that are coming up on season 3. Lots of great things to say. Lots of joy.
Yeah, we're coming through joy and through the microphone and through some fun things and just, to one of those things like I always say, we always say it, and it's our name. We're just getting better. But I think as this season in time for everyone, how can we just get better? And maybe that's just taking care of yourself. Maybe that's turning off the news. Maybe not listening to the podcast. That's drinking more water and taking a
No,
walk.
listen to our podcast. Don't listen
Yeah.
to news podcasts.
Not news podcast. I mean, girl, you have to send me
Come laugh
podcasts on
with
the
us.
news. You know how that is.
Come,
You have to
come
send it to
laugh
me
with
because
us. Come
Yeah,
laugh
because
and learn and grow and gain insight into yourself and the community and all the things. That's
yeah,
what we're gonna
I
do.
listened to its industry. I went back and I listened to a couple of podcasts. It's great for walking. If you walk on a
Yeah.
treadmill, you walk outside, it's great. Get outside, drink more water, hydrate, take rest when you need. And so, one of the best things about growing and also doing the podcast is like I think I'm personally getting better as a human being. As a
Oh,
human on
me
the
too.
planet, as we
Well,
research these
that's
authors, these people, that everyone we're interviewing, these amazing women, I'm just getting
yes.
better.
Well, that's the thing. We're just getting better through the conversations, and we want to share that with our audience. So there you go.
Yeah, we'll see you on the pod, Spotify,
Cheers.
Apple, YouTube,
Apple.
wherever
Yeah,
you get
YouTube.
wherever you get the podcast that you listen to. We'd love to have you. So rate, review, and subscribe. We're on the socials and all those things. So
I
thank
love
you
it.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Cheers.